Today we're going to sharpen the sweep on this very old Buck 119. And what I mean by the sweep is that portion right there. It's sometimes hard to sharpen because the spine of the knife continues through this false top edge here, and it's especially thick there. It's hard to get it as sharp as you want it. But you can do it, and you can do it freehand. And this is the way I do it. This is a diamond stone, and I recommend diamond stones. And this is an old one, but they last a long time. Now you can use water, or you can use them dry. And I usually use them with water because it just seems to work a little bit better. But you can use them dry as well. It produces kind of a black powder when the steel grinds away, and that's what you'll see here today. Now the important part of this is usually when you're just sharpening it, you're sharpening the main edge portion. That's pretty easy, and it's pretty easy to get to it until you get to about here, and that should probably do it. But if you want a sharp edge up on this part of the blade, you're going to have to change that angle quite a bit. You're going to have to grind it down a bit. So the way I do that is I just make sure that I get the angle about the way I want it. And I'll start by just holding it on there and measuring it out, sort of metering that out with my hands. And I'll rehearse that motion. And that's the important part of this, is rehearsing that motion until you've got it right. And then you can just scrub away at it. You're not going to hurt it by just rubbing it back and forth like that to kind of get your bearings and figure out how it's going to be. But that's the way it's going to be. Now if you sharpen it like this, you're likely to knock that tip off, right? You're going to knock it off square. So don't do that. What you want is you want that tip there to be at the trailing edge of your stroke. So that's kind of what you do, and just get used to that pivot motion. You can do it with a rough stone or even a piece of sandpaper glued to a very flat surface at first to get the shape you want, and then you'll move over to diamond stones or maybe natural stones if that's what you prefer. But this is something that you can do yourself in your own workshop or in your own office study like I do. And then once you got a burr on there, you can move it over and do the other side. Now you might want to put tape on that edge. I don't usually, because I do this a lot, but like I said, you just figure out what angle you want on there, and you rehearse that motion, and then you start grinding. And what we know about this is that you need about 4 pounds of pressure on the blade in order to sharpen it properly. That's optimal, I think. Maybe I'm a little heavy here. I tend to be a little heavy-handed, and when you get it done, of course, knock the burr off the other side. Anyway, that's the way I do that. I hope that's been instructive. Have a good day.